Good morning, welcome to an extra video this week. I'm down on the moors, just a mile or so away from my house, to meet up with Sam Pictor and Harry Palmer, and I think Sam's brother, because Sam Pictor is going to be doing a 10k effort. I'll let him explain what the plan is for this morning, but I'm just down here to shoot some video of it, to watch some very fast, or a very fast runner run very fast.
Got local legend.
What an honour.
Here he is.
Have these boys out.
Yeah.
What do you call this when you're vlogging a vlogger?
I don't even know.
Is this a thing?
Speed vlogger. Yeah. So here we are in Clevedon. We're on the lanes, so it's sort of the levels are nice and flat, good for an effort. I'm part of a relay team, so in the relay there's 2.5k leg, a 5k leg, a 7.5k and a 10k leg. Obviously, for some reason, I've been lumped with the 10k leg, so we've got to give it our best effort. The other caveat to that is the team name is Premature Acceleration, so there's real pressure to go out and split that first K as fast as I can and then try and hang on for a semi-reasonable time. What that looks like, I don't really know, but it's a bit windier than I hoped. I've got my brother pacing on a lovely pink bike, so I'm going to be trying to hang on to him. But
so go on, predictions then. So first K prediction?
First K prediction, I'm hoping around 250.
And then the whole 10k then?
Well, I'd like to say 32. I've gone quicker than that before, but like I'm definitely not in like peak shape, but hopefully around 32. What that looks like after doing a really fast first K, I don't know, but the last 9k are probably going to hurt, so this is a terrible idea.
That is a work of art, isn't it? So you looking forward to it, Benj?
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Would you rather be running?
Definitely not.
Do you want to just explain what just happened then?
Pretty much that face. It was a fear, like it often is when I'm running like really hard, is just need the toilet. And after 200 metres I could feel that I needed it. And I was like, there's no point pushing myself the next 6k to then have to stop. So I called it after 600 metres and thought, we'll go again.
So let's go for breakfast.
So we're going to try again, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to give it a go.
Sam! Oh, I'm not surprised. That looks horrible.
See that wind on the
Yeah, we can feel it in the car.
I don't know if it's the 100k in the legs or the lack of speed work, but oh man.
How was it?
Not as intended, but I don't know what I was expecting really. I haven't been doing much, without making excuses, like it's that weird time of season with no racing, so I've been really lazy on the speed work. I've just been like running steady and just couldn't hold the pace, to be honest. The wind like was a good excuse, but my pace was dropping before then. I sort of went off, got the first K in 2:53, which was nice, as intended. That was probably the only thing that went to plan. I then did a couple of Ks at about 3:10. I need to check the watch, 3:07, 3:10. Dropped to 3:15, hit a couple of 3:20s around the mid-mark. Did a 3:30, I think, into the winds, and then was back at about 3:20 and finished sort of strong, but it was like, I felt sick, legs felt bad, and yet I still knew I wasn't like quite at the limit. Like I just couldn't like push myself faster, if that makes sense.
So what did you come in at?
I need to check. I think it was, what did it say then? 32, 38. I'm going to check that though.
Oh yeah, really disappointing. Yeah, that's 32:38.
But let me double check.
Okay.
It might have been,
can you work out what your first 5k was at?
32:38.
32:38.
I don't know what.
You'll have to let me know what your 5k
I
time
can
was.
give you the laps.
Go on then. So what did you run?
2:53, 3:10, 3:13, 3:14, 3:20, 3:18. Turned into wind 3:27, 3:20, 3:20, 3:17.
Wow. It's pretty brutal, mate.
Oh, it was brutal. That is like that pacing graph.
So, out of interest, what does that tell you about in terms of training, what you're going to need to do?
So that a bit of that will be fatigue. We did a 100k run 3 weeks ago, I think it was. Video coming out today on Harry Palmer's channel. But to be honest, you can't get away on just easy running. You've got to do the intervals. Otherwise you just won't have. It was a shock for the legs. Even if I'd have probably done 2 weeks back into interval training, it would have made a difference.
Right.
So, and I sort of knew that, but it's good to test that out, see what the body needs. Not everyone's different as well. Some people need more, some people need less. But I know that in the mid-season, I'm doing like 2 interval sessions a week on the bike.
And again?
I know that in the mid-season, I'm doing 2.
No, it's going in.
2 interval sessions a week on the run, and I'm doing the same on the bike and the swim, to be honest. At the moment, just not getting the heart rate up to near enough as many times as that, if at all in the week. Just sort of going easy and enjoying my training, which is good. We're allowed to do that at the moment. This race wasn't for money, it was for pride. No, it's for the relay, so hopefully the boys will be happy with that first K.
Smashed it, mate. Well done. Thanks for letting us come along.
Cheers.
So for me, there are 3 takeaways from that session. One, clearly that Sam is, even when he's not at his best, he's just insanely fast. 32:38 for a 10k, and you know, he's disappointed, which is just crazy. The second point from what he was saying, really, well, both things from what he was saying, was that idea of pacing, because he went out so flat out and ran the 2:50 first K, which was part of his plan, of course. Just how much impact that had on him. I'm guessing in terms of lactate, maybe I'll ask him about that now.
Okay, so it's a few days after the time trial, and James has just sent through a quick question asking if I think that the first kilometre pace was so tough that it flooded my legs with lactic acid, making the rest of the race so difficult. Yes, it was definitely stupid going out, and it's not something that I would normally aim to do, but due to the sort of circumstances, we thought that would be quite fun. I think the first kilometre, so it was 2 minutes 53, so it was definitely faster than the pace I'd want to average. I think that there was an element of that. I did go off too hard and it did flood my legs a bit, but I don't think that was the main reason that I sort of tied up so badly. I think predominantly it was because I've been treating the last few months as an off season with no racing around, and so I've just not been doing the intervals. I've just been doing a lot of steady state stuff, which has been nice. There's nothing wrong with that. So then to throw in a 10 kilometre time trial just randomly in the middle of it without any sort of intervals leading up to it, my legs just weren't used to turning over at that speed, and I just couldn't get my heart rate up properly. So even after 2 kilometres, or maybe even after 1 kilometre, I knew that was going to be the case. I sort of suspected it might happen, but I think that was the real reason that I couldn't really get up to pace and my legs tied up. The other thing was I had just done 3 weeks before a 100 kilometre run, and I think I underestimated how much residual fatigue there was left in my legs following that. So as ever, it's really hard to measure these things, but I think the first kilometre will have impacted the rest of it, but not to the amount that I struggled, if that makes sense.
And thirdly, just proving what we really know. I know it was part of Sam's plan to kind of find out whether the long, slow running that he's been doing recently would allow him to run fast, but I think deep down he knew, he'd already spoken to me before and said that he hadn't done any speed work and that was going to impact on today. So ultimately the third thing that we've kind of proved rather than learned, I think, is that we do need to do that speed work. If we want to run fast, we have to run fast. We have to do those speed sessions to get that top end alongside the slow runs, rather than doing loads of stuff in the middle that doesn't really make any difference. So I've had a couple of days to think about watching Sam run that 10k, and if I'm honest with you, the thing that I'm left with is just this overwhelming sense of privilege to be able to watch somebody run that quick. In my job as a musician, I've spent hours watching from very close up master musicians at their craft, and in a weird way it kind of felt a little bit like that, and it very much has left me with this sense of kind of privilege that Sam allowed me to kind of to be part of that, really. So I just wanted to extend a big thanks to Sam, really, and to Harry for kind of allowing me to tag along and watch something that, you know, normally we don't get to see somebody running like that unless it's in a pro race that we're watching. So if you enjoyed watching that video and you want to see more videos like that, don't forget to hit the notifications bell and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video.